he wants to take the lead on it. How do I coach these people best to represent me?
Yeah, so you can't, number one, right? Unless you send them to Easton University and pay them a commission, all that. But a couple things that you can do to improve your situation. When somebody says, I don't think it's a fit for me, but tell me what you do. Here's where you need to take something right out of your eastonuniversity.com portal and go, would it help if I gave you an example of the kinds of things that we do? Because if we just talk about what we do, they don't hear us and they automatically go right to cost afterwards, okay? And they're gonna limit about 95% of the people they could refer us to. So when you pivot and go, would it help if I gave you an example of the kinds of things that we do? Yeah, sure, go ahead. So a lot of companies, they're at a precipice where they've got, more work with leadership, but they can't afford a director, they can't afford outside consultants, but they need help on XYZ and ABC. What we're able to do is essentially give them fractional ownership of the top tier talent in the world, and they're able to buy by the drink versus buy at the bar, and they don't have to pay benefits, they're not having to pay a board member, and they're able to get the answers to the problems that they need, or at least the insights and the reassurance that they're on the right track right away. You happen to know any companies where they're moving at such a fast pace that they have a bunch of stuff and they're just kind of unsure, and the last thing that they want to do is jump forward without really vetting everything, but they don't want to spend the resources to do it? That's the kind of group that we're able to help, right? And you're giving them, I just made that up. It kind of might be what you're doing. You're like, that's not at all what I'm doing. Doesn't matter, right? That's how you want to present it. Then if he says, yeah, then the second piece of advice that I want to give you is the raise your hand. If he says the cost, okay? I don't want to be evasive with the price. But I also don't want to go, we're $57,000, because until I've monetized the situation, $50,000, $57K is a lot of money. Even if you're Heinz 57, it's still a lot of money. But if I'm saving them 40 mil, 57K is a drop in the bucket. So what I would say is this: listen, I'm happy to share with you the ranges. I'm hesitant, but I'm happy to share with you the ranges because we are a very transparent organization. Our fees range from $10,000 to $57,000. Here's the deal though. What I would love to do, I want to make a promise to you. If we can hold the pricing off to the side, we are not a company that's going to determine the pain and set the price accordingly. We have flat pricing, but we have some different packages. If you introduce me to somebody, here's the promise that I'm going to make to you. I'll be honest with them, I'll be forthright with them. If we cannot help them get monster improvements, I will be the first one to raise my hand and say the juice is not worth the squeeze working with us. I am not in the business of bringing clients on just to get $57,000. We have more clients than we have analysts to do things with, and we're not that type of company. So if you and I can have an agreement that, hey, I'm going to work with your clients, there will be a useful conversation. They will be calling you, 100% of them will call you and say, Jack, thank you so much for getting me in touch with David. He's great. Some of them are going to go, we're using him. Some of them are going to go, he wasn't a fit for us right now, but in the future, awesome, thank you for making the connection. And then some of them might say, hey, we're overstaffed on the C-suite, but man, thank you for thinking of us. 100% of the people that you refer to me, I'll be honest, I'll be forthright with, and I will deliver valuable insights to them, okay? And at that point, if it's a fit, I'll talk to them about the cost. If it's not, I will for sure be the first one to raise my hand and let them know, right? Because what you want to do, the reason why when somebody's referring is asking the cost, is what they're really asking is, am I going to look like a jerk if I send this person your way and they waste money with you? And that's why they're trying to weigh how much money is this. Because they don't want to be the one that goes, man, I recommended David and they spent $57,000 and it wasn't a fit. Now I look bad. You have to reassure them that you will be the first one to raise your hand and let them know it's not a fit. You are not in the business of ruining your credit or that person referring's credit. You are in the business of being transparent, honest, and forthright. And if it's not a fit, you'll be the first one to raise your hand. When you do that, and you combine that with, would it help if I gave you an example of the kinds of things we do? Now you're going to get an evangelist because he's going to feel comfortable, or she's going to feel comfortable sending people your way and they're going to be able to tell a story. When you tell that story, hopefully when I gave you that example, maybe some of you visualized it or felt it, and then they're going to be talking to Neil, or Samuel is going to be going, God, you would not, it's impossible to find a board member here in Israel. God, Samuel, you know what's interesting? I got this guy David. He might be exactly what you need. Because it sounds like you don't need a board member in Israel. It sounds like you need somebody with technology experience that can advise you on this rollout so that you guys don't make a misstep. That's exactly what we need. Let me get you in touch with my guy David. Okay? Here's the deal. He's honest, he's transparent, he's forthright. He will even raise his hand and let you know if it's not a fit. If it's a fit, you're going to have to pay for him. He's not cheap, but he's worth it. But here's the cool thing. He's not going to make some sort of recommendation just to get a sale. That's not the outfit that they are. If he does, please let me know. Okay, but let me give you David's number. Tell him I sent you. He'll take great care of you. That's how we set up those referral partners.